Hello everybody, today I'm going to go over some examples that correspond with the parts of circles slide presentation that you should have already watched. So let's get into it. In numbers 1 through 6, they want us to name one of these parts of a circle that you see in this diagram to the right. So let's start with number 1. In number 1, it says name 2 radii. Radii, if you didn't know, is just plural for radius. We don't say radiuses, it's radii. So let's name 2 of them. There's more than 2 of them in this picture, so there could be more than 2 answers. But remember, a radius is a segment that goes from the center, which A is the center, to the circumference of the circle. So going from point A to point B, that would be a radius. Okay, so again, remember in this circle, the center is A. And we would call this circle A. And since the center is A, we would say that the radius could be segment AB. That's one of them. Another radius, hopefully you can see, could be AF. And if you wanted to name a third one, you could, because there is another radius going from A to D. So radius AD. Now, the next thing that they ask for is a chord. A chord is a segment whose endpoints are on the circle. Okay, so let's look for a segment whose endpoints are on the circle. So find a point on the circle, like point C. Follow that segment along, and you'll see it goes to point E, also a point on the circle. So we can say that CE is a chord. Again, there are other chords in this problem. So let's go ahead and name that one as well. Again, a chord is a segment, so that means it has endpoints, does not have arrows at the end. So I could go from D to F, and that could be another chord. The next question asks for the diameter. The diameter is just a special type of chord. It does have both endpoints on the circle, except the difference is the diameter must go through the center. So it is a chord, but it's a chord that goes to the center. So our chord that went through the center was DF. Okay? All right. The next question says they want a secant line. A secant is a line, okay, that intersects a circle in 2 points. So it kind of looks like a chord, but it keeps going beyond the circle. And the way you know it's a line is it has arrows at the end. A line will have arrows at the end. A segment, as we know, should have endpoints at both ends. And if they do bring up the idea of array, array has an endpoint on one end, and it keeps going as an arrow in one of the directions. Okay, so a secant in this problem should be written as a line. So a secant in this problem would be line DE. And that is the only one in this picture. And remember, the way you write a line is the 2 letters, 2 points on the line with a mini line over the top. And refer back to all of these other ones that were segments. Make sure for a segment, it's written with the 2 letters with a segment over the top. You might think that this line would also be a secant, but it is not, because it only has 1 point on the circle. A secant must have 2 points. Okay, so number 5 says name a tangent. A tangent is a line in the plane of a circle that intersects the circle at exactly 1 point. I can see that only the line that's tangent would be this line here, and they actually don't have enough labeled on here. So I'm just going to say that it's the line that goes through point B. Because a tangent is a line, right? And in order to name a line, I would need 2 points on that line. They only give me 1 point on that line. So I'm just going to say that it's this line that goes through point B, because I don't want to add any points into my picture if it's not there for me. So this is a good description of what a tangent would be. Okay? All right. So the next one is the name a point of tangency. A point of tangency is the point that the tangent line goes through. So this tangent line goes through point B.